Good morning, you guys. Right before spring break, Miss McGuinn read this story, and it's titled The Little Red Hen. Now, who can remember the problem in this story? I don't know, so we're going to have to find out. How does a little red hen teach dog, cat, and goose a lesson? Well, let's get to the reading this story so we can find out what happened. Once upon a time, there were four friends who lived together in a barnyard: a dog, a goose, a cat, and a little red hen. The dog was a lively pup who liked to play all day. After all, he said, who will chase balls and do tricks if I don't? The cat was a handsome animal who liked to groom himself. After all, he said, who will take care of my good looks if I don't? And to groom yourself means to make yourself clean and neat, like doing your hair, putting on some nice clothes. The goose was a talkative bird who liked to gossip. After all, she said, who will share the news if I don't? And to gossip means to talk about people who aren't there in a hurtful way and share their secrets. So gossiping is not nice. And the little red hen, she just liked to figure out what needed doing and doing it. One day, the four friends decided to move together to a cozy cottage near the river. They were very happy there. The dog played all day in their big front yard. The goose waddled to the farmyard each morning and always came back with new stories to share. The cat washed himself on the sunny windowsill, and the little red hen, she cleaned the house, worked in the garden, cooked the food, and did whatever else needed doing. One afternoon, the little red hen swept out the shed and found a bag of wheat seeds. Excited, she brought the bag back to the cottage. Look what I found, she said. Who will help me plant these seeds so that we can have wheat to bake some bread? Not I, said the dog. I have to play with my stick today. Not I, said the cat. I have to groom my fur today. Not I, said the goose. I have to talk to the cow today. She has news about the goat. I wonder what's going to happen next. Will the dog, the cat, or the goose eventually help the hen? I don't know. Let's see. All right, said the little red hen. Then I'll plant the seeds myself. And she did. She hoed the ground and planted the seeds and watered them well and pulled the weeds. Soon a fine patch of wheat was growing tall in the sunlight. The wheat is already ready for harvest, said the little red hen. And to harvest means to pick food, such as wheat, vegetables, and fruit when they are ready to be picked. Who will help me harvest it? Not I, said the dog. I have to bury my bone today. Not I, said the cat. I have to smooth my whiskers today. Not I, said the goose. I have to visit the pig today. He said there's a scandal with the sheep. All right, said the little red hen. Then I'll harvest the wheat myself. And she did. She cut the wheat, then gathered and tied it up in bundles she stacked outside. This little red hen, she's such a very hard worker. How many of you think it's sad that her friends won't help her? Now the wheat must be ground into flour, said the little red hen. Who will help me pull the wagon to the miller? Not I, said the dog. Today is the day I chase rabbits. Not I, said the cat. Today is the day I clean between my toes. Now I, said the goose, today is the day the goat said he'd tell me a secret about the cow. All right, said the little red hen, then I'll pull the wagon myself. And she did. She cleaned the wagon and loaded the wheat and went to the miller's down the street. And a miller is a person who grinds the wheat into flour. The next morning, the little red hen was ready to bake. Who will help me bake the dough? Will make the dough, she asked. Not I, said the dog. I'm busy chasing my tail. Not I, said the goose. The dust might make it hard for me to talk. Not I, said the cat. The flour would muss my clean fur. Muss? What does muss mean? To make a mess. So the cat thinks that the flour is going to make her fur messy. All right, sighed the little red hen, then I'll make the dough myself. And she did. She gathered up eggs, milk, yeast, and flour, then mixed and kneaded. Kneaded, something like when you're playing with Play-Doh and you can knead the Play-Doh for nearly an hour. She's shaping the dough. She's folding the dough and stretching the dough and pressing it with her hands. Now, said the little red hen, though she already knew the answer, who will help me bake the bread? Now, do you think the dog, the cat, and the goose helped her bake that bread? Let's see. Not I, said the dog. It's time for me to take a nap. Not I, said the cat. I really must get my beauty sleep. Not I, said the goose. I absolutely must rest my voice. All right, said the little red hen. Then I'll bake the bread myself. And she did. She built the fire, a difficult chore, and slid the pan through the oven door. She cleaned the mess that the baking made and finally went out to rest in the shade. As the afternoon wore on, the wonderful aroma, something that smells. It can smell good, like if it's food baking in your kitchen, like cakes or pies, or if your mom is cooking chicken, it can smell so good. That aroma smells so good. Of baking bread drifted through the cottage. It tickled the noses of the napping dog, the sleeping cat, and the resting goose. They sniffed, they smiled, they opened their eyes. What is that heavenly smell? Asked the goose. Why, it's just my fresh baked bread, said the little red hen. Who will help me eat it? Now, I can pretty much bet you that they're going to say, I will. I will, said the dog, jumping from his rug. I will, said the cat, leaping down from the windowsill. I will, screeched the goose, forgetting to rest her voice. Now that it was time to eat the bread, now all of her friends were ready to eat. But I wonder how the little red hen felt. Let's see. You will, asked the little red hen, but you let me do everything else. I hoed the ground and planted the seeds and watered them well and pulled the weeds. I cut the wheat, then gathered and tied it up in bundles I stacked outside. I cleaned the wagon and loaded the wheat and went to the miller's down the street. I gathered up eggs, milk, yeast, and flour, then mixed and kneaded for nearly an hour. I built the fire, a difficult chore, and slid the pan through the oven door. I cleaned the mess that the baking had made, and then, only then, did I rest in the shade. Now, how do you think the little red hen feels? Mad, sad, frustrated, upset, maybe disappointed. So do you know what? I think I'm going to eat this bread myself. And she did. I don't think that it was fair for the little red hen's friends to not help her with making the bread, but then wanted to eat it at the very end. That's selfish. But the next time the little red hen needed help around the house, nobody said, "Not I." The end. Now that was a great book. When you're done reading this story, I want you to name the characters that were in this story. And also, where did the little red hen live in this story? What did the goose, cat, and dog do throughout the story? What lesson do you think they learned at the very end? And also, what made the little red hen angry? How would you feel if you asked your friends to help you bake bread and they chose to not help you? And then when you're done cooking it, they want to eat it. How would that make you feel? For me, I don't think that would make me very happy. It would make me sad. You guys, I'll see you later. Have a wonderful Tuesday.